What's up, guys? This is SanchoWest alongside with my co-host Dr. Bacon, and this is the CheckPoint Amigos show, your weekly checkpoint save for your nerdy lives, and we are live in Los Angeles. This is a video podcast. This one day you will see our beautiful faces, but for now we're on SoundCloud.com/SanchoWest. We're on YouTube.com/SanchoWest. Of course, we come out about Mondays. I would say the SoundCloud, the audio-only version, comes out around in the morning, and then the video version comes out in the afternoon. Soon there will be one, and again, we are building towards perfectness. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're new, this is how we do it. This is a weekly show where we talk about all the things that are nerdy. We have the big save, which is our big meaty topic, and then we have the checkpoint save, which is the weekly checkpoint save, which is all the fun little things of that, and then we have next level, talking about all the new cool stuff that's coming up for you to keep your eye out, and then we have the old save, which is fun stuff that we like to talk about, what we're doing, recommendations and whatnot. Bottom line, welcome to the community, and bottom line, we are here to have fun and to inform. Fun,
inform,
and to inform. Yeah, and create slogans and create catchphrases.
Like Boom Daddy,
Boom
and
Daddy.
Perfectness.
And perfectness. Speaking of catchphrases, Dr. Bacon, this is the side quest. WrestleMania is today.
It is.
Yes, WrestleMania 32, and I cannot wait.
I am not going to know anyone who's wrestling.
Don't worry.
But I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be one of the most sloppiest WrestleManias ever of all time. Because
like a sloppy Joe?
Well, it's a lot worse because all these wrestlers are injured, all the main stars. You have Seth Rollins out. You have John Cena out. You have Randy Orton out. You have Cesaro out. Now, there's a lot of rumors that they're going to be here. Look, guys, I could talk all day about WrestleMania.
You could.
I could. And Dr. Bacon doesn't know much, as he said. But I'm excited. I don't know. I wish we could record later so I could talk about WrestleMania with you guys. But stay tuned to my Twitter account, and you'll see the entire feed, because most likely I'll live tweet that bad boy. I mean, I'm excited. We got Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. We have Triple H. I'm not excited for Triple H versus Roman Reigns, though.
Wait. Undertaker versus Shane McMahon?
Yeah.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, dude. He looks great. It's awesome. Anyway, that's my little side quest before I get really off topic, because I could go all night long. Let's go ahead and kick off the main topic of the week. And again, this is the big, juicy save for you guys, and I am excited for you. Oh, before we go on, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm probably already said that, but I'm always thankful for people spending the time with us today.
We love you people.
Speaking of love, Dr. Bacon, I am in love with Miitomo. I love it. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of. It's surprising how you are way more into it than I am, and I thought it was going to be the other way, being Nintendo.
I know. I created myself. I have my orange glasses. I'm totally down. Here's the thing. I never had that bug of the Miis. That wasn't me. I just never caught that bug before, Dr. Bacon. I never had a Wii, as we previously discussed in previous podcasts where we talk about where's Nintendo going. But I never had a Wii, so I never created a Mii. I never did that, and now I get it. I get it. It's dumb.
It's fun creating your Mii. I didn't create one because the one for my Wii was okay, but for the Wii U, it took a picture of me with the gamepad, and it created a Mii from there, which I really liked. And for those of you who haven't downloaded the Miitomo yet, you can either create your Mii, or if you have a prior Nintendo account, you can transfer your Mii over, which is what I did. Except I got rid of the glasses on him since I had eye surgery and I don't have glasses anymore.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that it's what is Miitomo? It's a social app. It's another social app to add to all these social things. It's like Twitter. It's all these kinds of things. But essentially, you create this Mii, and then you have a little room, and then you dress it, and then they have a little panko games for you to get more costumes, and every day you go. But the coolest part of it, Dr. Bacon, that I was not expecting, because I didn't really know that much about the Miitomo, is that you find out, it asks you a lot of questions, and you find out
things about each other.
Yeah, things about each other. Just random things about each other that makes entirely no sense that you could probably get on the Facebook profile.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Nintendo's charm makes its way into Miitomo.
And it's kind of endearing to hear the voice that you can adjust for your character. Or your Mii, that is.
Yeah, I know. I have like this weird hello, I am SanchoWest. But what I really enjoy how silly it is, and we were talking about this earlier in the previous podcast, like what's Nintendo doing, and I as I stated before in that past podcast, this is Nintendo's Trojan horse. It's this way of Nintendo being relevant and getting into our world again. It's very fascinating, and it's very weird how I'm enraptured with this game. It's a silly thing. I mean, I have you.
And you know what's one of the cool things about it? There's no in-game purchases. It is everything about it is free. You have to earn points to buy other things,
right?
Like clothing.
Yeah, and then what you do to get more clothes is there's this Panko game where you drop your other friend's Miis, and then you drop them down and you get different. There's a little challenge to it, but not really.
And there's also a shop which has updated wardrobe every day, and which reminds me, I forgot to check today's shop because I want to see what's new to the shop today. I think I'm gonna do it right now.
This is what's crazy. I don't understand. Like, Nintendo has always this weird charm of getting things done. Now that they're getting it done on a mobile scale, it's just so much can happen. The Nintendo could not come back in a great way, but it's getting gamers talking about Nintendo. My whole Twitter sphere, the whole gamer universe, in terms of all the places like Kotaku, IGN, GameSpot, Nerdist, all these guys are hooked on Miitomo. And just to show you guys that I'm not this crazy guy and I'm not this crazy kook, it has shot up to #1 in the United States in the iOS App Store, in the Apple Store. #1 within 24 hours.
Let's see how long it stays there.
It's probably going to stay there for a long time. Now, here's the thing that what they need to do is they need to update the games. I need to have more games because in terms of this Panko machine, that's fine and all, but I understand that they're going to update it more, but I want more things to do with it. I love creating me photos.
I would like it to be a little... The responses to be a little faster. It seems like anytime I hit any button, it has to load something.
It's probably sent into the cloud or something.
Even when I'm just hitting a heart and liking someone's comment, I have to sit there for a little bit of time just to hear thanks.
Right. There's a lot of lag in terms of all that. A little bit of loading screens, but it's just really fun. You guys need to try it out. It's free to do, and the reason why I bring this in the main topic because. I don't know. It just creates this feeling that you're sitting there, and all of a sudden someone walks in from your friends list. Is like, Dr. Bacon's here. Like, hey, Dr. Bacon, what do you have to tell me today? And then it's just usually like, these questions are very general. Like, what's your favorite food? What are you doing right now? What have you done recently? Some weird flower question. I have no idea what's that about.
Oh, I don't know why they put that analogy, but it's the main question is, how many people do you think you'll date in your life? Yeah.
Well, I'm done.
And it's weird how addicting the game is because usually when I come over to Sancho's place to record the CheckPoint Amigos, I'm pretty religious about setting up my stuff for him so he doesn't have to feel like he has to do everything. But today I got here and I started getting on. I got onto the Miitomo app, and before I realized that he had everything set up, I did nothing to set up today.
I spent hours last night in bed looking at people's answers, hearting them, commenting them back. And I think you're right. You were talking about me like, what is it? And I know I mentioned charm, but it's hearing that voice repeat back to you what you said. Yeah. And I know you could curse and whatnot, but it's just have that fun and interaction and seeing everyone. You could instantly recognize people based on their me. Like, oh, that's Dr. Bacon. Oh, that's Matt.
Someone else.
That's someone else. That's Aaron. That's all these kind of crazy people, So I find that very awesome. And what my biggest point about this whole thing is Nintendo has put themselves in this opportunity to do something special, to invade our phones and reestablish this connection. Because Nintendo's big game, I think Nintendo's big play, as you can see with the NX rumors and all those kinds of things, is mobile gaming. They want to get in that sphere, and they're champions of the sphere with the Nintendo 3DS and all these kinds of things. So what they're trying to do is get in your pockets, literally and figuratively.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere like an RKO. With Pokemon Go coming down the pipe, and there's this new
Which
thing.
I believe is going to be the last thing that they release out of all their game apps for the year. So I think it's going to be around this time next year that we'll finally get Pokemon Go.
I'm just telling you, if Nintendo would just put Mario video games on there, I'd be happy. I would buy a lot of those. I would buy those instantly. And I've bought so many of the Nintendo franchises over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I bought Super Mario World. And the gaming industry know this. In an article in Polygon, Dr. Bacon, new Mega Man and Monster Hunter games are coming to smartphones. Capcom announced that it plans to develop new mobile titles based on popular series like Monster Hunter and Mega Man. In a release to investors, the company said it has reorganized existing mobile branches to form Capcom Mobile Company, which will launch games exclusively for smartphones. 4 mobile games drawn from existing intellectual properties are currently planned for worldwide release by March 2017. So the industry is hip to this, and the industry is understanding that, you know what's the easiest way to get more people is to invade your smartphones because everyone has one.
Yep.
And my wife doesn't play video games at all. When we were having dinner at Beer Belly LA, she was jealous that you and I had a Miitomo. And she was like, I want a Miitomo. Can you make me? I was like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You need to make one on your own phone. And that's what I'm talking about. Nintendo has a way to roping in all, not just casual players, but beyond casual players. And having that audience made the Wii successful. But I still have my doubts. I really do have my doubts.
Really?
Yes, I have my doubts about Nintendo.
I had my doubts. I mean, I still do. But
I have my doubts about NX. And I'm sorry, as much as I love Miitomo, I don't know how long I'm going to be this obsessed over it. It could go away. I say it could go away about 10 days or so if they don't update the store. Granted, you level up every time you put on new clothes, every time you change, every time you make a comment, every time you answer. That's the chasing the carrot gameplay of it. But beyond that, what am I else going to do? I can't do all this all the time, especially that Panko game. I can't do that all the time. I want like Mario Party games. You mentioned it in the previous podcast. You want WarioWare type games.
that would be great, yeah.
That would be great. And what's cool is that you could take all these photos with me photo and all that, and then you could place them on Twitter. But my question to you, Dr. Bacon, is we mentioned it earlier. It seems to really work well with Twitter and Facebook. How's your friends list coming along? Because I know you were saying like you didn't have that many out the get go, but how
I still don't.
Is it because there's like some kind of weird way of finding people, or not many of your circle?
No, it's just not many of my friends on Facebook or my followers on Twitter have it.
Interesting, because using SanchoWest Gaming's Twitter handle,
they found me. Right now I have, I don't know the exact number, but like 5 to 10 friends on Miitomo.
What I was gonna say was that a lot of people in my circle are in the gaming industry, so of course they have it. So the people I follow have that. But I've heard a lot of rumors, Dr. Bacon, that if you have over 500 friends in Miitomo, it crashes and doesn't
really
load properly. Right. So a lot of the popular people, I'm not even near that. I'm like about 20 people. But I do find it interesting though when you got to be careful about who you friend, because naturally as a person in my position, I want to friend everybody just to be nice.
Right.
So when I friend somebody that I don't know who they are, like tell me something that you like about me. Like, I don't know, dude. You post cool stuff on Twitter. What do you want from me? Type of vibe. So it's a fascinating thing. That's the word I would have to say about Miitomo. Is just pure fascination on it. And I really do hope that Nintendo could seize this opportunity, because they blow a lot of opportunities more than any other video game company. And I'm not talking about in its entirety. I'm talking about now. The modern day Nintendo is not the Nintendo that we grew up with. And I think maybe it's because socially we're much more inclined to it. Like we're much more observant of it. Because back in the day, we all had was Nintendo Power to give us these news.
Yeah.
And that was just controlled from Nintendo.
Power and Game Pro.
And that's all we had. Even and if you walked into the store, that's when you got the news as well. Like at Electronic Boutique, you went to Babbage's.
Electronics Boutique.
Yeah. EB. That's where you got all your news from in the magazines. But now, since Twitter's out there and everything's up to date, it's really hard to stay relevant.
But it's also with the ease of spreading information, it's also a lot easier to get misinformed.
Correct.
And that's across the board, not just video games in general.
I agree, and that's why it's very interesting when we build the checkpoint, the weekly checkpoint. A lot of news stories come out, and then they change almost within a couple of days or so. And what was very funny, because we're going to talk about the April Fools, is that my favorite thing that somebody said is April Fools is probably the only day in the entire world where people actually don't take news as fact until they do their own research on it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of memes on that. One of my favorite memes was the day after, where it was like just a picture of like a little kid being happy at the computer and said, "It's the day after April Fools. Everything on the internet is true again."
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to talk about more of our favorite April Fool's story that we had yesterday. But I could guarantee Checkpoint Amigos does not fool around.
Not yet.
Not yet. We give the true story. So that's going to wrap up the big save about Miitomo. Let me know. Comment down below if you have a Miitomo. Let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know what kind of things you have in terms of hiccups with it. But let us know. We want to be an interactive show. And I do apologize again. This is the second week in a row I did not ask questions from the audience. So anytime, just hit hashtag AskAmigos and I will look for them. But I do apologize because usually I send out a tweet, Dr. Bacon, asking for questions. But I was so excited about WrestleMania. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the weekly Checkpoint Save for your nerdy lives. These are everything that we feel that's worthy for you to be the cool nerd at the water cooler.
The coolest of the cool.
All right, Dr. Bacon, let's go ahead and get down to it. Let's go ahead and start this off with an article from Polygon. This comes from Sony. More powerful PlayStation 4 to be announced before PlayStation VR. So we talked about this last week.
Right.
About the PlayStation 4.5, but there's more news on it, and that most likely the launch window is going to be around October. So in this article, Sony's more powerful version of the PlayStation 4, also known as the PlayStation 4.5, and PlayStation 4K, is expected to be announced prior to the launch of PlayStation VR this October, according to the Wall Street Journal. The upgrade PlayStation 4 will reportedly be able to play 4K resolution content, according to the report, and deliver a richer gaming environment, including a high-end virtual reality experience. The Wall Street Journal report collaborates previous stories from Kotaku and Eurogamer, and Sony's plans to release a new PlayStation version of the PlayStation 4. The journal also reports that Sony will continue manufacturing the existing PlayStation 4 as well as its more powerful successor. The PlayStation cannot currently output 4K content, and its optical drive cannot read 4K Blu-ray disc. However, Sony has signaled that 4K compatible PlayStation 4 is in the works. Masayoshi Ito, executive vice president at Sony Computer Entertainment, said in an interview last year that Sony is considering an enhanced PlayStation 4 that could support 4K Blu-ray disc. And Neil Hunt, Netflix chief product officer, said that Sony had promised Netflix that a new revision of the PlayStation 4 hardware with 4K support is coming. So Netflix is going 4K. So everybody's going 4K, which is weird because I don't care about resolution. I honestly don't care.
A lot of people do.
I know they do, but I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because if I did care, I would play for my PC as much more. I just like convenience more than anything. But I guess it'd be nice to have 4K.
I think it's one of those things I mean, in general, not you specifically, but you don't care about it till you experience it.
I know.
And then you go backwards, and you're like, wow, what a difference. And a horrible example, but an example nonetheless, internet speeds.
I know.
Like people who are experiencing Google Fiber right now, imagine how fast they're going. And then, there are those of us who think, with their top tier local internet provider, we think we're going fast, but go back to a landline and hearing that
never.
When that first came out, we didn't care how fast it was. We were just happy to get on the internet.
And then when someone picked up the phone, you got disconnected.
Mom!
The dark times of
I'm
the
trying to read Nick Toon's interviews right now.
I'm trying to get AIM on ASL. Oh man, those are the days though. But I'm just saying, like, you're right. Once 60 frames per second, I know all you PC nerds, it's always been around for PC, but once it hit multiplayer more and more on the PlayStation 4 console, I was like hooked on it because 60 frames per second is so buttery, and it's perfect for multiplayer because it helps you, see a player, it helps you, trace your bullets and all those kinds of things. It's just an overall better experience. And then, I guess you're right. Once I experienced PlayStation VR, I'm like, I'm all for it now. So we'll see what 4K is all about. I just feel bad because I really do believe what a lot of people out there are saying, that this is a bad move for PlayStation because it's going to make people who are interested in buying a console wait. I'm kind of bummed out because I love consoles and it's always been the same for 7 to 8 year window. You know that you're going to have a PlayStation 4 for that long, but I think those days are done, man. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
You're going to have to update a system every 3 to 4 years now. Maybe
but I'd rather
2.
update a system as opposed to buying a new system.
I agree. I mean, I wish there was
to that point.
If there was like
quickly.
plug-in peripherals to make it better, that would be nice. But granted, you kind of like everything all in one box.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all used to getting iPhone 4s and every kind of couple of years or so, or your Androids or your Samsung Notes, and all those kinds of things. So,
but that's kind of different.
It's kind of different because that's a utility. You kind of need.
Yeah.
All right, next story. Speaking of technology that's having some issues here, Oculus has bungled the launch of the Rift. That was a really good segue. Wasn't at all. I shoehorned that one. Oh well. Oculus sent out an update today.
I thought you did fine. I thought you were going to edit a little because it worked fine.
Nope. We're going to keep this in here. I'm judging myself. Oculus sent out an update today clarifying what is going on and confirming that delay has been caused by unexpected component shortage. Oculus is also footing the bill for shipping. So this article is from the Start Story talking about how Oculus pre-order users are getting notices that they're not going to get their promised shipment of Oculus Rift that was promised to them in March. Now it's going to come out on Tuesday, April 12th. And a lot of people are upset. And they said that this pretty much is an unexpected shortage. But man, this would have sucked. This would have sucked if I order an Oculus Rift, which costs $600. You got your PC rig going and all those kind of sexiness. And then to find out that you're not getting it. And that the biggest thing that a lot of people are complaining about is Oculus is not very easy to reach. This is kind of disconcerting, Dr. Bacon.
Are they doing anything to compensate for this?
Yeah, they're paying for your shipping. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Although, and this comes from an article, although many Rifts will
be... For some people, that might be enough, but...
No. See, from the article, it says, although many Rifts will be arriving on schedule and in line with the original estimates, they will be covered shipping and handling costs for all orders placed through today. We're shipping Rifts every day. Don't hesitate to reach out to Oculus support team if you have any additional questions. It looks like Oculus may have sold better than expecting, considering Palmer had said, if enough people pre-order and somehow exhaust all the stock we're building up, later orders will have to have a later ship date. That or a defect has discovered after the fact that needed fixed. I don't know, man.
You know, in terms of them being difficult to reach, it's really unfortunate, especially for them, because they may lose a lot of customers. People will probably want a lot of refunds, but that's not really... The difficulty in being able to contact them isn't necessarily their fault.
No.
Because, you know, maybe it wasn't like this. Unless it's difficult to reach them all throughout the year.
I believe you know why it's difficult to reach them? Because
of this.
Well,
everyone's trying to reach
them.
Yeah.
And they don't have a brick and mortar presence. They don't have like a place. They don't have like a hub. This is Oculus, okay? It's a big difference between Sony's customer support network. It's a big difference from if I had a problem with my pre-order that I ordered at GameStop, I could go to GameStop and deal with that. I could go to these places and deal with that. But here, you got to go to Oculus to deal with all those kinds of stuff because you pre-ordered through Oculus.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest plus side to PlayStation VR is that they're going to have those kinds of support system to deal with any kind of shortage. And I'm just shocked that they have shortage issues when they know how many people pre-ordered. That's not acceptable, man.
No.
Not acceptable. Bad Oculus. Bad Oculus.
Go in the corner.
Go in the corner. But you know what is cool in technology? Tesla.
Tell me. Yeah.
Tesla reveals the 35,000 Model 3 electric car. This comes from IGN. Tesla Motors has revealed the prototype of their next car, the Model 3. The latest all-electric vehicle from the California car company is a mid-size sedan with a base price of $35,000 before federal or tax-level tax incentives. Deliveries for the Model 3 are targeted for late 2017. Other features of the Model 3 included a large single piece of glass, dude. That's like a crazy sunroof. That's so sexy. Or the entire cabin, or an all-wheel drive option, rear and front trunks, since the car has no engine and the battery's on the floor, a single 15-inch landscape-oriented touchscreen display in the center of the dashboard, and the largest interior volume of any car of its size.
Man, those babies are impressive.
Oh, I want one so bad. It looks so good.
If I had spare $1,000, I would put the down payment, and I'd worry about paying for the rest of it later.
Well, think about it. Federal and tax incentives will knock down that price to maybe like 28.
Yeah.
Maybe. Especially in California, dude, where you live now.
And the weird thing about this is the creator of this car, his patent is open.
Yeah.
Anyone can use it, but no one else does.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to see if I could get my hands on one of them because I love Tesla. I see them on the road. They look so cool. I've been in one before, and oh, man, it's like being a part of the future is awesome. Yeah. You know, maybe that's just a little bit of a statement that I'm backtracking here because I said, like, who would want 4K gaming? But to be environment and conscious, have no gas to deal with, considering that Tesla is
eventually we'll have the foam that pops out when you have an accident, like in Demolition Man.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Enhance your comm.
Yeah. I cannot wait, man. I love the future. I love the future so much. So we're going to go ahead and talk about futuristic things here when it comes to Warner Brothers in DC in this story coming from.
That was a bad one.
I know.
That other one was good. This was a bad one.
Yeah, I know. Slash Films article talks about Batman and Superman's box office drop. But before we get into that, Dr. Bacon, Batman vs. Superman has crossed 500 million worldwide box office wise. But that's not the good news. We got bad news.
I would have
coming.
gone straight to the bad news and then recovered with the good news.
That's not how we do it here.
Yeah. Way to focus on the negative.
SlashFilm.com reports box office drops a record 81% in the second weekend. In an update, Variety reports estimates that peg Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice in 42 million for the second weekend. That's a 68% drop from its opening 166 million weekend. It's not an unexpected drop, but the movie may not have long legs at the box office. The 81% drop from Friday for Friday still stands, but these are whole weekend numbers that are now coming in. Original story from April 10th. So in the original story from Slash Film, they kind of go into the other drop-offs from other movies, and I'm going to go ahead and read that right now. It's very interesting, Dr. Bacon. Here are some other major box office drops from point of comparison. Fantastic Four had a 78% drop. Watchmen, 78%. Hulk, 76%. X-Men Origins Wolverine, 75%. Green Lantern, 72%. Man of Steel, 71%. Those numbers will also include Thursday previews, so Batman v Superman's drop is still bigger. A worse drop in the box office has been seen in the likes of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and High School Musical 3, with an 84% drop and a 90% drop respectively. What worrisome about the drop is that Batman vs. Superman isn't facing any big competition at the box office this week, with the biggest new release being God's Not Dead 2 and previous releases like Zootopia and My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, which my wife said sucked. Don't watch it. Take that into account with the fact that a lot of schools are now on spring break right now, and the movie really shouldn't have dropped as much as the box office. So imagine how much the numbers will drop when movies like Jungle Book comes around the corner. Wow, 81%. 81%.
But it's still making a lot of money. And I think it's already past the $500 million marker. I think that's what Warner Brothers is focusing on.
Correct.
And I will continue to show my support for the movie. I may not have the money, but I've got an AMC gift card, and I plan on going to see it again tomorrow.
Good Lord.
They have AMC theaters around here, right?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Good. Yep, my plans are made for tomorrow.
Absolutely. So you might be excited about this news, Dr. Bacon. Ben Affleck has finished his Batman script. Ooh.
See, that one I'm excited / confused because it honestly feels like old news resurfacing.
Right, but
because
now it's real. It's real. He's finished it. He just finished it. Yes. It's real.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know I could have swore I've read that before.
In this report from Hollywood Reporter,
Go ahead.
in an interview with WME IMG co-CEOs Ari Emanuel and Patrick Whitesell reveals how many movies Affleck was currently signed up for when it comes to the DC's Caped Crusader. He's contracted to do at least Justice League 1 and 2, so at least 3 times wearing the cape. He says, adding there's a script that he's written that is really cool Batman idea, so there's that option out there. This isn't the first time the prospect of Affleck-originated Batman movie has been raised. During San Diego's Comic-Con last year, is what you were talking about, THR reported that the actor-director was developing a standalone Batman project with DC Entertainment Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns, with Affleck tentatively attached to direct as well as star.
Right.
In addition to the movies Whitesell mentioned, Affleck's Batman also would make a cameo appearance in August's Suicide Squad, which includes a number of the hero's comic book villains as lead characters. His rumored presence was confirmed in the footage from the movie released during Comic-Con last year. So there you go.
I'm plenty excited because one, you've got the director from Argo, the guy who co-wrote Good Will Hunting,
right,
and he knows his stuff. Co-writing a script with Jeff Johns, the chief creative officer for DC. So obviously that guy knows his stuff. 2, he's written many successful Batman storylines. So to have the 2 of them together writing with the potential of Ben Affleck directing, I can't wait to see all the hate that this gets.
Oh, buddy.
Once this movie comes out.
Oh, buddy.
That's if hopefully they take his script and hopefully he directs.
Here's the deal. Batman vs. Superman is probably the biggest rift I've ever seen in the nerd community in a long time. I can't think of a bigger rift. I'm really trying to think about it. Maybe Star Wars, but the internet wasn't really a thing during the Phantom Menace, so you can't really say you can't quantify how much that rift was. But I really can't figure out like what divided the nerd community as much as Batman versus Superman. Comment down below if you can think of a bigger riff, because I can't really think of it
I can't think of one either.
And continue on with Batman vs. Superman, Dr. Bacon. Here's an article talking about those Suicide Squad reshoots, which is not kind of exciting. It's not. It's kind of a bummer. I mean, considering that the movie's supposed to come out.
It's the Suicide Squad. They're not supposed to be funny. They're supposed to have a funny character.
Right.
But they don't need funny moment.
The thing is, I want to say is like Marvel has spoiled a lot of things for superhero movies. Marvel has this perfect formula that you don't want DC doing the Marvel formula.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect formula. I mean, you've even talked about it with Avengers 2.
It's not perfect, but I would say that the casual superhero fan or the casual comic book movie fan wants Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
they want a Marvel
and that's one thing
experience.
that a lot of us already know this, but we're still applying the Marvel formula to movies. DC is the darker comic book.
Exactly. So in this article, one point that keeps coming back as a negative against the film is this intentional moodiness. BVS director Zack Snyder is known for a certain style, and there's no denying that his style doesn't carry a rather dark edge. In a film that has massive potential for an occasional chuckle here and there, however, Snyder managed to miss the mark completely. This is the guy's opinion, by the way.
Right. But he's on topic.
He's on point. Yeah. Even sad Affleck felt the darkness in his soul, which was a funny meme. I get it. Hello Darkness, my own fan. Yeah, it was good. Over 18 million views on YouTube when I saw it. Not bad. So, according to the sources, every joke in the movie for the Suicide Squad is in the trailer. So if there are only moments of humor, what does it mean for the film? The enormous positive response to the trailer led to Warner Brothers requesting reshoots that would alter the tone of the film, bringing in some more lightness, to which the audience responded. So it's like, hey, we understand you love the focus and all the laughter, ha ha ha, but that's not all the film. It's weird, man.
It's weird, and I'm very worried about this. I don't think. It's hard to say without having seen a finished product, but I personally don't think they need to worry about that, because a good example is RoboCop.
The remake?
The original.
Oh, okay.
Because there were no funny jokes in the movie, but there was a lot of humor to it, if that makes sense. There was humor in the actions that were happening. They weren't making the jokes, which is what I feel DC is worried about, or Warner Brothers is worried about. They feel they need to make more jokes to make the ha-ha. I'm like, no.
Again, Marvel.
Their actions
right.
can make it humorous.
Again, the Marvel.
Yeah,
they're
the
trying
Marvel
to copy
formula,
Marvel.
yeah.
Right. They're trying to copy Marvel formula. And I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr. is not in a DC universe. He's not going to show up. There's not going to have.
But that's the thing. It's a character that makes it funny. So Justice League has Barry Allen, or even Wally West, but it's going to be Barry Allen for them. When he comes in, especially if they bring in Hal Jordan, the camaraderie between the two of them, the back and forth quipping between them two, that's what brings the humor to Justice League, not Batman and Superman. For Suicide Squad, it's Harley's insaneness.
Right.
It's not all of them making jokes. It's not Will Smith being, hey, let's go save the world. No. It's through the actions. You don't need to make the jokes. The jokes are there.
The jokes are definitely there, and they just let them happen. And hopefully they don't really shoehorn. I'm hoping they just add more Batman. I want more Ben Affleck into this. That's all I want.
and random Wonder Woman showing up.
Right. Speaking of Wonder Woman, though, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman will be more naive and pure in this article from Games Radar. In an interview with IGN, she says, Wonder Woman in the solo film is different than the one we're going to see in Batman vs. Superman. She's more naive and pure, and she's a young idealist who does not understand the complexities of men and life. Whereas in BVS, she's very experienced, and has been such an amazing creative process. So more on the Wonder Woman. World War I is the setting of this movie.
Correct.
And there are going to be some big differences between Wonder Woman we're just introduced to in the Wonder Woman of 1910. In the standalone Wonder Woman movie, it's the first time we're going to tell the coming of age of Wonder Woman, and she's going to go back in time. We're all going to go back in time to that age. So I'm excited for Gal Gadot. We all, in the podcast review that we did, which thank you guys so much for supporting, got over 700 views on that. She is coming of age. She's going to find her own. I kind of wish I didn't want to see an origin story. I'm enjoying these superhero movies where you just hit the ground running and we connect the dots and we keep going. But, more Wonder Woman.
For some characters, it makes sense. For her, I would like to see an origin story, because not only is it the first time, it's one that not everyone is familiar with. Mm-hmm. Other times, it's okay to have essentially a crash course origin like you did for Cyborg.
Right. Right, yeah.
A little crash course, like his dad you know, the Cyberdyne director, creative Terminator is also Cyborg's dad. It was okay. He basically says it. My son's sick. I don't know how to save him. Oh, here's an alien artifact. Oh, it brings him back. Boom. Origin done.
Right. Boom. Done. So one of the things that I did not understand why that this was not in Batman versus Superman, and this next thing that we're going to talk about, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, close your eyes, shut your ears off. We're talking about Darkseid. That little deleted scene that we got to see later on as a viral campaign. I don't understand. That should have been in the movie.
It should have been in the movie.
We would have completely understood what was happening. For those of you who don't know, in the movie, the cops or the SWAT team is closing in on Lex Luthor. He's inside the crashed Kryptonian ship. They're closing in on him, and he's still in that little, I don't know what that is, the DNA pool.
Yeah, it's the DNA sequencing chamber.
Yeah, he's still in it, and all of a sudden, he's talking to one of Darkseid's generals, which the name slips my mind which one it was. But it wasn't Darkseid he wasn't talking to. He was
No. Oh, no one knows who it is, but there's a lot of speculation that it was... Oh, it slipped my mind. He's also the name of a band from the 70s.
Oh.
Not Black Sabbath.
it's in there. Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
A lot of people saying it's him. I think it looks like him. Might be him. I'm leaning. Well, I don't know how I feel about it.
Right,
but I agree. It should have been left in there.
And he's holding those 3 mysterious cubes.
Mother boxes.
So that should have been in the movie because that would have been motivation to explain why Lex Luthor is a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I know all those internet was covering it with those memes that he's more like the Riddler and he was more like Jim Carrey's Riddler, yada, yada, yada. But I do agree.
I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut.
I do agree, though. It wasn't the Lex Luthor that I wanted, but I wanted to understand why he was nuts. He was a little nuts.
Yeah.
And that scene would have said, "Oh, okay, I get it. I get why he's nuts."
I've gone way into this topic in our Facebook group, Nerds, Geeks, Storts, etc., which I don't need to go in here because it'll be a long tangent. But yeah, it should have been left in.
It was only a minute long. For crying out loud, I was sitting there for 2 hours and a half.
It wouldn't have been spoon-fed what was going on, but for those of us smart enough, you would have been able to connect dots and understand this is why.
This is why he was doing. So continuing on what DC has to do, here's what they have, Dr. Bacon. Let's go ahead and talk about their entire breakdown. June 23rd, 2017, Wonder Woman comes out. And later on that year, Justice League Part 1 in November comes out. Then Flash gets his own movie in 2018 in March. Aquaman gets his own movie in July 27, 2018. And in April 5th is Shazam on 2019. June 14th, Justice League Part 2. And that's in 2019. Cyborg 2020. Green Lantern Corps 2020. So that's on state right now for the DC Universe. And I'm excited. Why not? More DC fun stuff. I know it's backwards from the way Marvel did it, but I'm excited to see more of this kind of way of presenting.
It's a little backwards, but I don't like that they're, in the terms of their big movie, they're splitting it up the way Marvel's doing it. I can understand splitting it up, but having 2 to 3 movies in between,
right?
You know,
it's weird.
It's going to be something to see what those movies, in the DC timeline, those movies take place.
The crappy thing about movies, in terms of why they don't really work as a comic like a comic book does, is because the actors attached to it, all those kinds of things, they have to finish the storyline. Most comic books, they do the finish. What I'm trying to say is most movies that spread like this is like there's a beginning and an end, but now with this new formula, we don't get the end until like 4 or 5 movies later, which is weird. That's not something that I'm used to in movies. I'm used to when I walk in a movie, I get the ending and close of the story. But now with Marvel and the way they do things with DC is like it's always a cliffhanger and it continues on to build on. So like imagine if like this goes the same with Harry Potter. It's like he had 6 books, but imagine there's a cliffhanger and then you're gonna get the rest of it 6 books later, movies later. It's just weird to me.
And 2 things I would like to point out here: unlike Marvel's Phase 1 or Phase 2. The 2 guys in charge, DC's version of Cap and Iron Man, Superman and Batman, they don't have movies on this list.
Which is weird.
Batman, I understand because they're still figuring things out. Superman, I'm not surprised. I think it's because there was a plan for a sequel to Man of Steel, and then they went back and forth on whether or not BVS was a Man of Steel sequel, whether it was its own movie. They finally say, like, yes, it's a sequel to Man of Steel. There'll be a 3rd one. I think that they were basically in talks for it, and there was so much backlash against Snyder that WB was like, you know what? You can keep with Justice League 1 and 2. We'll see how it goes. But as for Superman, right now, no solo films.
Sucks. He deserves that. He deserves that.
In a good way or a bad way? He deserves to have a movie? Or
movie.
Okay.
No,
just making sure.
I love Superman.
It almost, yeah, I know you did, but it just for a second, it sounded like, yeah, he deserves not to have that movie.
You're on edge, buddy.
I am.
You've been on defense.
It's a salty topic for me, as a friend put it.
It is.
Sorry.
You know what? You know what happens where a lot of salt is thrown? At Mortal Kombat tournaments. This next story, Mortal Kombat X ESL Pro League Season 3 announced with a $500,000 up for grabs across various events.
Where you at, B-Magic?
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Get Blue Goggles in on this.
In this article from EventHubs.com, Warner Brothers has announced the latest in esports, and Mortal Kombat X ESL's Pro League returns for Season 3 starting this weekend. On April 3rd, the 8-week online tournament series will begin. The best players from around the world will slug it out in Mortal Kombat. I just thought of Shang's song.
It has begun.
It has begun. 16 finalists will remain. These players from North America, Europe, and the Commonwealth of Independent States and Latin America will compete in the finals on June 12th in Burbank, California, in front of a live studio audience. Additionally, there'll be ESL Mortal Kombat X Challenger Cup kicking off on April 2nd. This will allow players who aren't competing in the Pro League a chance to battle online in weekly events for cash and prizes with streamed monthly finals. Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios have also announced that they will continue contributing to local tournaments in North America and Europe, and we expect to see more sponsorships and prize pool funding this year. There'll be up to $500,000 up for grabs across the entire competitive season.
That's insane.
Yeah, $200,000 will be distributed among the top 8 players at the Season 3 finals, with first place taking home $75,000. So it's not that one player can win $500,000.
That is not chump change, though.
No, I know. To play video games, they get paid $75,000.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not easy to win, but wow. I'm really cool about this. I love that esports is coming a thing, and I know that's not the biggest prize pool because, like, Halo and Dota and League of Legends have $1 million prize pools, but wow.
Eventually, ESPN will take notice, and they'll have a gaming channel.
Oh, they already do. You don't know about this? On their not on their like channel.
No, yeah, I mean on the channel,
but
channel,
on their blog. They have a blog,
site.
right? They have a blog, and they kind of, it was weird seeing Justin Wong highlights on ESPN's Twitter feed.
I want this to hit like WrestleMania levels where people go to like Hooters with all their buddies to watch this gaming event. You know?
Oh, like a UFC? Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I want. Not. It's on the site. Check it out.
Right.
From last week.
You know what I'm looking forward to though?
What are you looking forward to?
Alien Day. Yes. April 26th is Alien Day, and this is why I'm looking forward to. In this article from comingsoon.com.net, Dr. Bacon. Following the footsteps of last year's Back to the Future Day, 20th Century Fox has today announced that April 26th will be Alien Day. A celebration of science fiction horror franchise. Alien Day celebration will be a nod to X-Moon LV-426, where the xenomorphs were first discovered in Ridley Scott's 1979 original. So this is the big part, Dr. Bacon, that I like and that I want. Daddy wants. They're replica making.
I never even noticed their shoes.
Reebok Stompers. What? They look so cool.
Were they even labeled Reebok in the movie?
I don't care.
Because like for Back to the Future, it made sense.
I don't care.
It said Nike on the shoe, and they were a cool thing. Like, but for the Alien shoes. I don't think we even saw her shoes in frame.
Dude, they look so cool, though. Look at them. There's no official details on price and availability, but damn, I want them. The same reason why I want those Back to the Future shoes from Nike. Those were so expensive, and they always auctioned them off. I'm hoping they make these open for the public, because I want them. And I'll be the cool kid on the block, rocking some Reebok Stompers.
But you already are the cool kid.
I want to be the cooler kid.
Okay, fair enough.
The cooler kid. So now, Dr. Barry, we're going to get into some crazy news right now. News that affect you.
Me?
You.
How so?
We're going to go ahead and start off with Destiny news.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Destiny's April upgrade. Again, guys, every Wednesday for a couple of weeks or so, they're doing updates on Destiny's on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Bungie. So this is what they talked about last Wednesday. According to Bungie's article right here, Bungie's making a major change to the way Infusion. You gotta break this down for me because I don't understand. Infusion, boosting stats on weapons and armor by dismantling higher light level gear, works in Destiny with the game's April update. No longer will players have to turn into online Infusion calculators. Bungie's making Infusion to a 1-to-1 upgrade. That means that when the April update hits, players who infuse a 330 light weapon into a 280 light weapon will see the less powerful weapon upgrade all the way up to 330 light. The way infusion currently works, less powerful items only receive a portion of a more powerful item's light level. For example, a 320 light legendary weapon infused to a 280 light legendary weapon will only boost the latter's rating to 320 light under the current system. Destiny's new light level cap will raise 335 with the April update, and Bungie's providing a variety of ways to get the 335 light level gear. Players will find la-di-da-di-doo, doo-di-doo-di-da. Is this a big deal?
It's a huge deal, and let me break it down to you this way. Try to make it as Cliff Notes possible as I can. I've got my favorite piece of armor, but it's very low level.
Got it.
And I just got a drop, which is ridiculously high level.
Right.
Okay, and then the old method, when I would infuse the two to make my favorite armor a higher level, it wouldn't go up all the way. It would only go up increments, so I'd have to continue to infuse it with higher level gear. This new implementation process they're putting in is that first step that I took with infusing it with the higher gear, it goes straight up to that number. I don't have to take steps to gradually increase it. So I lost you, is what you're saying.
So you're going to get back into Destiny?
I never left.
Oh, wow. But you know who was ready to make war with you guys, right?
The Division.
So, Destiny's update's happening April 12th. Now, Dr. Bacon.
Yes?
Division's update is happening April 12th.
Whoa!
The gauntlet has been thrown. Here it is, Dr. Bacon, the war that the Division is setting on you guys in this blog post from Ubisoft. The first of 2 free expansions for Division, titled Incursions, has been confirmed for arrival on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC on April 12th. Now, I know that Xbox One has a deal where they get everything 30 days earlier, but this one is hitting all platforms at the same time, Dr. Bacon. Revealed in today's community live stream, Incursions adds a new in-game activity specifically designed for squad play and rewards teams that come out victorious with high-level loot. Incursions also brings a loot trading feature, letting you swap items with your squad mates. So there's a lot of things here. It has a new mission titled Falcon Loss. It's set in a completely new underground water treatment facility that's been turned into a stronghold for the Last Man Battalion. The Incursion updates lots of things, Dr. Bacon. New gear. And the agent level, though, is still staying the same, capped at 30, but your gear score can boost your abilities beyond your level, and you're touted as a new way of leveling up for top level players. Loot trading is now available, which is a big concern, because, you don't want people selling these things now.
Right.
Which was happening in Diablo and all those kinds of, all those hoo-has and whatnots. So loot trading is now available. If you get good loot, you can now drop it on the ground and make it available to other players in your group. So the good thing is, you can't really sell them in a market setting. You have to be friends. You have to be in the same area, and you have to drop it. But still, there's always a black market when it comes to loot trading.
Right.
Assignments are new tasks. So there's new goals that you can have. Kill 10 cleaners, yada, yada, yada. Now, this is pretty cool. Supply drops will periodically fall from the sky in the Dark Zone, giving you and the other group something to battle over, and they're also protected by tough enemies. But the loot doesn't need to be extracted, as it's uncontaminated and can't be stolen once acquired. Now, another update is when your agent dies, there's a now camera follow. So there's a little updates here and there. Daddy-doo-dee-doo. So, the gauntlet has been thrown down, Dr. Bacon. This is very, very... I don't know, man. I enjoy healthy competition, but I think video games should not be this way. It should encourage other players to play other games, and that way the whole community is healthy.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine either way. They're both going to have their loyal games. And, people who play both, they're going to play one over the other one, but they'll eventually go back to the other one.
We'll see. I mean, comment down below. Again, we here at the CheckPoint Amigos, I'm not playing the Division. Dr. Bacon is not playing the Division. He's a Destiny player. I didn't get into Destiny and Division. So comment down below and let us know. Are you going to go back to Destiny, or are you trying to try new things and go to Division?
Or are you not playing either of them and don't care?
Which is totally fine. It's up to you. Next story.
Speaking of aliens.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Fred Armisen's cast as Krang in the Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows new movie here, ladies and gentlemen.
I think
this is pretty cool.
This might be their best casting yet.
I'm excited for this casting. He's going to knock it out of the park. He's really good with voices, and I really hope they let him improv a bit, because that's where he's the strength.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I wonder what he's going to look like. They kind of showed him a little bit.
All they showed was the body. They didn't. Yeah. Oh no, there was a quick close up of him.
Yeah, we'll see. This is bringing back a lot of memories, though. I didn't have a. Did you have a was it a Technodrome? Is that what they're called?
The Technodrome. No, I didn't have.
You didn't have it?
When it came to the toys from the original cartoon series, all I had was Mikey and Donnie.
Okay.
Who were my two favorite turtles.
Uh-huh.
Mikey first, and then Donnie. But other than that, I had none of the toys.
I had the one you took a bath with, the big one, like the 18-inch one. He was like,
"Think you took a bath with?"
Yeah,
You're
it was like
creeping me out here, buddy.
No. It was this big plastic thing. The audience knows they had one too.
I don't think they do.
I had a Raphael. He was amazing, and it
You
was
took
like
a bath with Raphael?
Yes. I'm sorry. I was of that age where I could take baths with toys. I'm not the only one who does this. Did you take baths with toys? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Okay, in thinking about it, yeah, but the way your sentence was structured and the way you delivered it, I was not getting that. I was not getting playtime.
You're just ruining my memories.
Yeah, I am. I apologize.
You know what
about that.
happened this past week, though? On March 31st, Dreamcast, that was the day on 2001 that Dreamcast ceased production. And oh boy, I was thinking about this. It's like, man, I miss my Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was a cool system. Did you have one?
I never had one, but a buddy of mine down the hallway in the dorm room I lived in, he had one.
Oh man, we talked about
It was
this.
impressive.
I loved Crazy Taxi.
That little cartridge thing where you could put into the controller.
I loved NBA 2K. That was always fun. I loved Jet Grind Radio, and I love all those kinds. I didn't really play Sonic though because I was still a loyalist. That was my way of saying like, that's cool. That's cool that you got this Dreamcast, Sega, but I'm still a Nintendo kid, and I'm not supporting Sonic. That blue hedgehog, he could go to hell. Well, he could go to third-party hell because that's where he is right now. Is that too much? Am I kicking Sega while it's down?
No. You're putting a little salt on their wound, but they're okay with that. They know. They
Take
put
that.
themselves there.
Next news story here, Dr. Bacon. Final Fantasy 15 hits the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on September 30th. So this comes from Engadget. Now, of course, over the past week, they did Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered, which was this huge event. I'm adding this into the rundown, by the way. I forgot about it. This huge event in Los Angeles in the Shrine, which was hosted by Tim Geddes and Kind of Funny's Greg Miller. But Final Fantasy 15, they said there was a lot of things in that conference that they had. They announced the date, which is September 30th. They announced that there's this demo called Platinum, something like that.
Yeah.
They announced an anime that's coming out.
The demo was fun.
They announced the movie that's coming out. There's a lot of
there's a
Final
lot.
Fantasy stuff. They showed a lot of gameplay trailers and things like that. But I'm kind of hyped about this. I'd never really played Final Fantasy, but from what I've seen, I love an action-based RPG versus a traditional turn-based. And I know a lot of the people out there were kind of like, I'm not 100% sure.
I was actually thinking about that. I do enjoy action RPGs. Final Fantasy is its own version of that, but I do miss classical RPGs.
Right, those turn-based and things like that reminds me of Paper Mario and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, I want to see
Chrono
stuff like
Trigger
that.
and all those
I want
kind
to see
of
stuff like that with these kind of graphics.
Which we will be getting when Final Fantasy 17 Remake hits, but it's going to still be more action-based.
Actually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's going to be more
action-based. They do have remakes currently in the store and on PC for the traditional remake of the turn-based, but I completely do understand. But I was seeing this footage, I was like, man, you get to drive around the car, you get to bro out on a road trip, because it's basically what it is. Go see those chocobos, all those kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but I really enjoyed the showmanship that Final Fantasy did. They treated it as if it was an E3 reveal, and they made its own event. Granted, GameSpot leaked the story early of its release date, which I don't know what kind of repercussions that's going to be.
Someone got fired.
Somebody got fired. This is what happens when you hit stuff to publish and you don't even understand what happened. But wow, man, I kind of definitely am excited for Final Fantasy 15 to hit. Cannot wait.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the demo was really fun. And apparently there are secrets in the demo as well.
Ooh, but you said you played it and it was pretty cool?
I played it, yeah.
I didn't have a chance to play it. How long is it? Like about 10, 15 minutes or so?
Depends on how much of an RPG gamer you are. For someone like me, it was almost 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Dope.
Because I try to search every nook and cranny. For those of you who are just straightforward and going into it, might be 20 to 40 minutes.
April Fool's happened this week. It's probably the worst time to be on the internet. It's the worst. I hate April Fools. One of my favorite April Fool's things, though, that I ever saw was then when GamePro ran an article talking about that you could get Akuma in Resident Evil 1. And oh man, I did everything that I can to find that Akuma. Because that was like, they showed a photo of Akuma throwing fireballs down the hall. I was like, dude, that's so awesome. And of course, my other favorite video game prank was getting Luigi in Mario 64. You ever heard of this one?
No.
Oh, back on the Nintendo 64 days.
Oh, wait, no, I remember. Yeah.
They're like, you have to get the Mario hat, and you have to fly into the window, and then you'll find Luigi. I was like, what? And I was trying so hard.
My favorite prank that I actually fell for was some some video game magazine had still shots of this game in progress. It was Lord of the Rings Racing.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And I was so perplexed by this and yet so enthralled because they had stills of Gandalf and like they were talking about power-ups that they could use. You were smitten.
I
was smitten.
Look at you. All right, let's talk about what happened this past April Fool's, though. I got a couple of things that we could go ahead and riff on. You got some stuff. I got some stuff. So we're going to go ahead and blaze through this as fast as possible. What'd you think about the Star Wars Fury of Maul trailer?
It was pretty well done, but that was the first thing I saw, and I did not understand how anyone thought that one was real.
I know. And another thing that I saw as well was the Sony Proton Pack. They're like, we discovered it. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here, you marketing bastards. The biggest thing that I've noticed that was a fail was the Google mic drop with the minions.
Wow, that backfired.
Dear Lord. Let's talk about that real quick. In this article from People, it says that here, everyone knows someone who has a little too enthusiastic about April Fool's Day. This year has happened to be Google. As part of the company's annual rollout of April Fool's Day pranks, they attached a feature they called the mic drop to Gmail, which when activated, inserted a gif of a minion, yes, from Despicable Me, dressed as royalty dropping a mic. For those of you who are slightly confused, mic drop refers to stand-up comments or rappers dropping the mic when they made a statement, whatever. So the bad thing about this feature, Dr. Bacon, was that it also blocked any responses from that person you're responding to. Everyone will get your message, but that's the last you'll ever hear about it. So what ended up happening was people got fired over this.
No, that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was the send as a drop mic was separate from just plain reply.
Right.
So some people were getting it but not realizing it was a joke.
Right.
That's
when April Fools could go wrong. You don't mess with people's emails. And Google, why'd you do this, Google? Why'd you do this? What are some of the things that you saw on April Fools?
Well, Google had some other good ones, like Google Cardboard Plastic, where instead of experiencing virtual reality, you experience actual reality, and it was just a little plastic headset you put on. That was pretty cool. And also a lot of things. There was a Snoopavision, which was a YouTube.
I saw that. That was
pretty cool. And
they didn't pick any SanchoWest videos.
There was Razer. Well, if you clicked on Snoopavision, it said the product or the app was in beta and the video wasn't going to happen until like 2020 or whatever.
Oh, I'm waiting.
But it's gone already.
I'm waiting.
It's gone.
2020 Snoop.
Razer toaster from Razer with a catchphrase "bread to win," which I thought was entertaining. Final Fantasy 14 did some advertising with Chocogo, a sort of Uber app, but for chocobos, where you could even pick your type of chocobo and listen to different Final Fantasy music. Facebook accounts were were participating in the pranks. There was the Denver Botanic Gardens, specifically in their tropical conservatory. There was...
How many of these did you find? There's a lot.
You asked me to... I thought it was going to be my own little thing, so I wrote it down.
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
I like this segment.
So botanical... They're in their tropical their tropical conservatory. There was a picture of one of the new plants that just happened to pop up overnight, and it was obviously an Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, and they were even using lines from the movie, calling it weird. The Library and Archives of Canada was boasting a major acquisition of the declassified journals and military records of one Canadian super soldier named James Logan Howlett. For those of you who know, obviously it's Wolverine, and they had a nice picture of him going with that. And they did their research. There was a lot of history in there that you would know from the comics that they did their work. Even apps were participating. If you played Word with Friends, when you opened it up, there was a feature you can enable, and to kind of throw you off, they called it Friday Point Bonus, with no mention to April Fool's Day. But the feature was, if you played on the toilet, you could get double the amount of points, and I thought that was really entertaining. That one I actually almost fell for.
So I'm sorry to cut you off on all the April Fool's things, Dr. Bacon, but we got some weird news to talk about.
We do.
We got some weird news. Last week we had that AI story, the Teen Tay. That was weird. And we had the Slurpee Donut. That was weird. But this Dr.
one,
Bacon.
This one takes the Slurpee Donut.
Yes. I like that. This comes from an article from Mirror. It writes, a humanoid obsessive has built an incredibly realistic female robot from scratch and has got more than a passing resemblance to Avenger star Scarlett Johansson. Ricky Ma, a 42-year-old product and graphic designer, has spent more than $50,000 in a year and a half creating a female robot prototype Mark I. The designer confirmed that a scary lifelike humanoid has been modeled on a Hollywood star, but wanted to keep her name under wraps. Oh, really? She looks like Scarlett Johansson, though. It responds to a set of programmed verbal commands spoken to a microphone and has moving facial features and expressions. But Ricky says creating it wasn't easy. Holy crap.
This guy's impressive.
It looks cool.
This is his Mark 1, and it looks better than some Disney animatronics I've seen. For this guy to have done it on his own within a year and a half, please don't give him any more money to make another one. Our robot overlords are coming.
I know. And this is not the first time someone made like a humanoid robot like this.
Yeah, but this is the first time someone made a full body.
Oh, man, I don't understand. Some people have way too much money on their hands. Way too much money. I mean, I guess. I mean, did you see the movie She?
No.
Oh, dude, you got to see it. I recommend that for you. Great movie. Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson. Such a great movie. And it's definitely...
Is it anything like Ex Machina?
No, it's a little different.
Okay.
It's more personal. It's about a man who falls in love with a computer program. It's very fascinating. It's very awesome.
With a computer program, not an actual robot.
No, computer program, which is played by Scarlett Johansson. It's an amazing story. Got to see it. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to a new segment here. It's a little still part of the weekly checkpoint, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a little new segment here that we're going to call Lightning Round. I know that's kind of cliche. I didn't want to go with Blitz or anything like that, but maybe you comment below, you come up with something that's more Checkpoint Amigo worthy for this. Are you ready for the Lightning Round, Dr. Bacon? Axiom Verge hits the Vita on April 19th. Pokemon Snap to hit Wii Virtual Console in Japan next week. I wish it was here. I love Pokemon Snap. A stunt actress resume reveals Shadows of Mordor 2. Xbox gets a temporary price drop to $2.99. We don't know how long.
Temporary?
Temporary. It said limited time only.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Turok 1 and 2 remasters heading to the Xbox One. I love some Turok, but it is available on Steam, by the way. And another thing, your Xbox can be turned into a dev kit. But a little quick warning right that is they said do not do it in a sense of you can get early access games. Don't do it for that. Do it if you really want to learn how to design games. That's what they said. You could mess up your system as well, but you could always restore to factory settings. But if you try to hack into it, Microsoft is going to put that big old ban on your face. And also, ban. Another thing, Ubisoft, this is an update on Far Cry Primal, Dr. Bacon, has created a free update called Survival Mode, which essentially is a stripped-down version of the game in terms of you're a weaker character, you don't have a map HUD, your animals that you tame are weaker, also permadeath. You die, that's it. Your game's over.
I like that.
That's pretty cool because a lot of the fans have been clamoring for it, and I like that Ubisoft has made this a free update for Far Cry Primal. If you want to check that out, the director said the keystone in survival mode is a change in the exploration, crafting, and difficulty of the game to make it even more realistic. After that, there are options the player can activate to go further.
That's a really smart move. It almost has me interested enough in buying the game.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see how long people who could defeat the game, because I know that game gets hard. Because I played it the way that they were talking about without the HUD in terms of the mini-map. It's hard to find resources, and it's hard because there's a lot of indicators to show, like, hey, these are where things are, this is where the resources are, and here's where the animals. And, dude, if you're out at night, you do not want to be out at night. You do not want to be out at night. All right, guys, that wraps up this weekly checkpoint. Save for your nerdy lives. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next level segment. We're talking about cool things, Dr. Bacon, that's coming down the pipe for you to check out. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the video game world. We're going to talk about a game real quick. I know I'm going to skip down a little bit here, Dr. Bacon, on the rundown. Quantum Break comes to Xbox One. This is a big first-person title for them, and now it is available on PC as well, but this is console exclusive to Xbox. Quantum Break blurs the line between television and gameplay, integrating the two into one seamless, unique, immersive experience. Quantum Break weaves the cinematic action of intense gameplay with the tension and drama scripted television, creating a world where each has a direct impact on another. Now, we're going to go ahead and flash to this review because I don't have an Xbox, you don't have an Xbox, and I want the people to be informed about this, so I'm going to go ahead and...
It looks like a really good game.
Yeah, it looks really great. This comes from the Nerdist.com's Edwin Garcia writes this review. If you read my preview coverage, you know that I wasn't a big fan, but that changed when I got to sit down and actually try out everything the game has to offer. It makes much more sense when you take it as one complete cohesive experience. This doesn't mean it's a perfect game. It still devolves into a standard third-person shooter where you have to blast your way through countless waves of enemies too often, but the time-bending abilities and intriguing live-action show makes it easier to forgive those moments. Remedy took a bold approach to storytelling in video games, and it pays off. I count myself juggling powers and pushing to the end of each chapter just so I could see what kind of trouble Liam has getting himself into. Xbox One owners will be pleased to add this to their collection. So the main protagonist, is pretty much Iceman from X-Men.
Is it really him?
Yeah.
Because he has a twin brother.
Does he?
Yeah.
No, it's him. Sean something.
Sure? Sean Astin?
Yeah, it's him.
No, not Aston. I'm Sean Ashmore.
That's
because his twin brother was.
Are you sure it's not an ice clone?
No. That's horrible. His twin brother played Jimmy Olsen in Smallville.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or James Olsen, for those of you who are really nitpicky.
So that's pretty cool. Quantum Break. I definitely want to check that out. Now, you need to read that Edwin's review when he talks about it. He did say that the live action stuff kind of is weird. It's weird to get used to that. You're playing a game, you're getting into it, and that it cuts over to this live action 20-minute segment sometimes. And also that some of the decisions you make really don't change the live action that much.
Huh.
So the replay value you think was there is not really. Kind of like, I feel like it's
kind of like Until Dawn.
Yeah. Yep. Continue on with the next level, Enter the Gungeon. This is my game that I want to play, Dr. Bacon. Enter the Gungeon is a brand new gunfighting dungeon crawler coming to the PlayStation 4, so it's out now. It's on April 5th. It's going to come out. It's essentially, Dr. Bacon, a top-down dungeon crawler. It's not a roguelike, so the game's level don't, procedurally are created. It is created from the ground up, but it's like bullet hell. You have to dodge a lot of bullets, and the enemies are bullets, like big bullet mascots.
Oh, nice.
And it's cool because there's shop keeps and there's crazy boss battles. Enter the Gungeon. It's definitely something I would recommend. Also coming out, Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally features 39 of the most iconic and relevant cars from yesteryear through to modern today, representing the cars from the players want and the ones that make the most sense of the surfaces they race on. 6 rallies over 70 stages head to the muddy paths of Rails, the dusty trails of Greece, and the ice tarmac of Monte Carlo. Take on a legendary hill climb of Pikes Peak, the snowy thrills of Sweden, and the epic scenery of Finland. Dirt Rally has an iconic location to test your nerve and delight your senses. Race at the Linden Hill, Whole Hills, and the Hell tracks in 6 of the fastest off-road cars and take on your friends bumper-to-bumper multiplayer racing. Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally. Gonna get it? Are you a big race fan like this?
Not terribly, just Mario Kart.
Got it. RBI 16. Make the play with your favorite Major League Baseball team and win the World Series. RBI 16 features enhanced lighting and graphics, revamped defensive AI, and an improved batting system and the ability to swim through seasons in seasons mode. And again, Quantum Break is rounding out. There's not a lot of games, and I didn't see anything in Nintendo. No, that's it pretty much. Except Miitomo.
All
right, going on to the movies. This comes from Metacritic's upcoming list. Boss, a titan of industry, which is Melissa McCarthy's movie. Boss, a titan of industry, is set to prison after she's caught for insider trading. When she emerges ready to rebrand herself as America's latest sweetheart, not everyone she's screwed over so quickly to forgive and forget. Thoughts on this movie?
I think it looks entertaining, but I'm not in a rush to go see it.
I kind of feel like it's more like Get Hard from Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, where I think Melissa McCarthy's kind of teetering near that Will Ferrell age.
That Will Ferrell one I did not see, but Kevin Hart essentially basically said it wasn't one of his favorite movies.
Again, I really believe because Melissa McCarthy's entering that Will Ferrell world where you can't just throw her in any movie and make it good. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Just because Will Ferrell's attached to it doesn't mean it's funny.
But her husband directed this. I don't think it was one of those just attach someone big to it to make it better. I think it was a plan of theirs to begin with.
I don't know, man. I love Melissa McCarthy. I'm going to go see it. I still have my doubts. Hardcore Henry's coming out. You remember nothing, mainly because you've just been brought back from the dead by your wife. She tells you that your name is Henry. 5 minutes later, you're being shot at and your wife has been kidnapped. And you should probably get her back. And who's got her? His name is Akan. He's a powerful warlord with an army of mercenaries and a plan of world domination. You're also in the unfamiliar city of Moscow where everyone wants you dead. Everyone except for a mysterious British fellow named Jimmy. He may be on your side, but you aren't sure. If you can't survive the insanity and solve the mystery, you might just discover your purpose and the truth behind your identity. Good luck, Henry. You're likely going to need it. What's fun?
Happens to me every day.
Right? What's cool about this summary is that it's using you. You.
Because the movie's all in first person.
Right. For those who don't know, this is one of the first person, like, worldwide release type of deal. I don't know. I heard a lot of rumors that you might get motion sickness, but I'm down for it. I hopefully that the gimmick doesn't get old.
There was that YouTube short that someone did. It wasn't really to emphasize on the cool action of a first-person thing, but to emphasize the editing he was able to do with his GoPro. I thought that was really awesome. I didn't get seasickness. I didn't get motion sickness from that, so I think I'll be fine with this movie.
Can't wait. I'm excited to see it because it's a new way to tell a story, and I'm always down for that. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this next level. Let us know if you've seen any of them, and let us know if you saw anything from before in the next level. And we're excited to hear back from you, because that makes the best part of the show. And I'm sorry again, I didn't ask for your Ask Questions Amigos. I apologize, Dr. Bacon. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. I apologize to the Sanchitos.
I'm sorry, Sanchitos. Lo siento. We're going to go ahead and talk about the old save, which is our pretty much the stuff that we've been up to, things that we recommend. Dr. Bacon, what have you been up to these days?
So, video game-wise, I think I'm finishing up on Borderlands. I've been playing the pre-sequel, kind of going back and forth between Borderlands 2, starting to lose steam on that, so we'll see what game I get into next. In terms of what I've been watching, I've been getting into Cowboy Bebop.
Oh.
Almost done with that season. Great show from 98.
First time watching, or
No. I watched it back when it first aired, but it was I bought the Blu-ray when it first came out, but I hadn't watched it yet. I watched some of it. I watched the first 2 discs before I moved, and then I forgot about it. And then I found it yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I picked it back up on disc 3. Good stuff. Stuff holds up.
Do you have a Crunchyroll account?
Never even heard of it.
A Crunchyroll it's like Netflix, but it's for anime. You get access to.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an account, but yeah, I.
It'd be cool.
The Netflix account I use is my old roommate.
What's your
anime?
What's your favorite anime?
Favorite anime? Gurren Lagann. Will always be Gurren Lagann. Great show. Yeah, you should check that out. I believe that's on Netflix.
Is that all you've been up to?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. All right. In terms of my world, I've been playing that Doom multiplayer. The Doom multiplayer beta hit, and oh my god, it is so cool, man.
I watched a little bit of your video. I
It's
really
fun.
like the speed.
It's fun.
It's a big thing for first-person shooters for me, how fast you can go.
It's fun. You respawn really fast. It's a classic arena style. No health regen. You pick up your health. You pick up your armor. You find power weapons on the floor and the map itself. And there's this demon relic that you could get that turns you into a demon. You kill a demon. You become the demon once you pick it up. All these fun play, and it's just a throwback to all those classic Unreal Tournament type of vibe to it, and I enjoy it. Quake has that vibe to it, and it's really fun. It's really mindless fun, and it's as I said in the video, it scratches this itch that I've been having for that, because I remember I was playing Quake on my PC back in the day, and I really enjoyed that as well. So definitely I'm excited for Doom, and that Doom comes out May 13th. I'm excited for that, and I just finished House of Cards.
But Doom, are the voices of Dwayne Johnson and Carl Urban in it?
Don't ever bring that movie again. It's terrible.
It was
terrible.
It was a movie.
It was a movie that is terrible.
It had moments.
It did. It had the moment when it went to first-person shooter mode. That was a cool moment.
That was a cool moment.
So that's what I've been up to. In terms of movies, or shows I've been mentioning, I just finished House of Cards, which is very, very interesting. The way they ended. I'm excited for the next season as always. I'm still not finished with Daredevil. I'm not finished with it. I'm really close to it. It's because I watch them at night.
Yeah.
And sometimes, since the movie's so dark, I end up falling asleep, and then I wake up and have to end up watching.
Rewatching.
Rewatch.
Yeah, there's a lot of exposition going on.
Yeah. There's always that's where I'm at right now. So
what are your recommendations for this week, Sancho?
what I was going to bring that up, my recommendations. What's new on Netflix? Animaniacs. You need to watch Animaniacs. It's on Netflix right now. You need to watch that show
Emergency.
For you to understand who I am as a type of person. This is the movie. This is the show that I was watching when I was a kid. It's fantastic. Well, not like a kid, but I was still watch it till this day, and I'm excited that it's on Netflix. I love it. The good feathers. Good idea, bad idea. The song.
Good idea, bad idea.
I love
yes.
good idea,
No,
bad
I
idea.
thought it was bad idea, worse idea.
No, it's good idea.
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I love them. I love of course, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. All those misadventures as well. But I love all the side characters. Pinky and the Brain. All those kinds of things came from the Animaniacs world, which is a block of cartooning that will always hold dear to my heart. Not as much as Looney Tunes so much, but still.
And they've got some of our top pioneers of voice actors. Rob Paulsen, who is also... He also plays Donatello in the current iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons. Jess Harnell, who's a great voice actor. Tress MacNeille. Those are your 3 Animaniacs. And then people like Maurice LaMarche, Frank Welker. They're all up in there. Great voice cast.
Nice. So that's what I recommend for you. Dr. Bacon, what do you recommend for the Sanchitos?
I was going to recommend Miitomo, which I still do, but I'm also going to throw in there Gurren Lagann, which you can find on Netflix.
Okay. What's that about?
It's one of the robot animes, to put it simply. But one thing that I find very cool about it is it's only one season. There are 2 movies. They're both the same movies, but it depends on which version you can find. I don't think the movies themselves are on Netflix, but for the series itself, you would think it was 2 seasons because in the middle there's not necessarily a cliffhanger, but there's a resolution to the conflict going on, and then the second half there's a jump in time. I believe it's about 5 or 10 years later.
Cool.
So it's almost a different story arc altogether. And then the film itself, like I said, depending on which version you find, they're essentially the same, but there's different cuts. It's almost as if you watch this movie of SanchoWest and Dr. Bacon, this is SanchoWest movie, so the movie concentrates on him. We could see everything going on with his life. Or if you find the other version, they'll be like, oh, this is what Dr. Bacon was doing when Sancho was working on that project. So you kind of see different things together. I don't know why I don't think they purposely did it that way. I kind of wish they would have just put all the scenes in together and make one longer movie.
Yeah.
But it's really, really fun to watch. You get teary-eyed a couple of moments. Great music. Great voice acting. One of the theme song for the show. It's one of my jogging track list songs.
Nice. So that's what you recommend. And I also recommend Miitomo as well. It's free. Check it out. Let us know if we're dumb. Let us know if we're dumb for liking it. But I like it.
But you have to check it out first.
You gotta check it out first. All right, guys. That's going to wrap up this show of the CheckPoint Amigos show. And I said show twice. So that is episode 12 in the books. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Again, you could tell your friends that you can find us on SoundCloud.com/SanchoWest. You can find us on YouTube, on YouTube.com/SanchoWest. You can find us on iTunes. Just search SanchoWest or CheckPoint Amigos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. That's the way you can help this community grow, is helping us share. So thank you again, and I will be sure to ask you questions next time. I promise. Dr. Bacon and I are going to watch some WrestleMania, and hopefully it doesn't let me down. Please don't let me down. Oh, I'm so worried. I predict this. Something dumb and something awesome is going to happen. Something really dumb.
So the usual.
No, usually it's a lot of dumb things happen. But I'm telling you, something dumb is going to happen, but something's awesome going to happen, and I hope it gets you hooked on it for a little bit. But I'm excited. WrestleMania is coming down the pipe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week. And again, if you have any questions, just shout them out to us at #AskAmigos. I like it, guys. Thank you guys so much. And as always, have a nice day. And ooh, yeah. Peace. Adios. Miitomo.
I really love the voices when someone comes to visit in Miitomo.
You need to stop visiting me.
I don't make it do that. It does that on its own.
Get out.
Get out of my head.